bitch right now. I'm not gonna lie. Nah, I want you to do it a different way. How you want me to do it, bro? Niggas saying W, so I'm gonna watch these. I ain't gonna lie.
Imagine a world where you can first expel. Well, go ahead. We're looking at Sinners, released in 2025.
Can you do it on your phone?
Sinners was written and directed by Ryan Coogler, best known for helming the Black Panther movies and the Rocky spin-off Creed. After all that IP, he wanted to try something completely different. That led to Sinners, an original film robust with various themes in American history, as well as being a straight-up smorgasbord of genres.
This is a drama, comedy, thriller, vampire, horror musical, okay?
You're goddamn right it is. Sinners takes place in the Mississippi Delta in the 1930s, with two prodigal sons returning home after working as gangsters in Chicago. They want to open up a juke joint where they can sling blues and bootleg booze. But then the usual happens. Things get messed up by an Irish vampire.
Y'all see the mic?
On the surface, Sinners
my whole love Sinners. Bro, is the mic in the way? I don't care, bro.
They remind you of
Sinners is it's a calm movie, bro. It's a good movie, bro. I seen this shit too much. I low key like I like this movie, but I don't like it enough to watch it more than 3 times. I've only seen it once, and I seen it in IMAX, so I don't think I can ever rewatch this and get the same like feel. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the hypes died down. Like it wasn't that shit niggas made it be, but it was good. Like it wasn't. I don't know, bro. Niggas made this shit seem like the next.
From Dusk Till Dawn, where a pair of criminal brothers get trapped inside a nightclub filled with vampires.
Oh my gosh, bro. Like,
but the overarching structure is where the similarities end, since Sinners is truly one of a kind.
Like,
this is an absolutely gorgeous film on every single level. It combines blues music and black history with folklore and vampires, all depicted in such a vivid sense of time and place. It transports you to the Prohibition-era South and shows you what life was like for the people there living, working, and loving. Especially loving. This movie is horny. Like, seriously, it's really horny. Like, teach you things about yourself horny. There's so much I love about Sinners that I don't even know what my favorite part is. An easy answer is the cast, an all-star ensemble led by Cooper's longtime collaborator.
I just learned Machine Gun Kelly was supposed to be the vampire that said the hard R. You want subs? Shit, niggas, send them through, bro. Send them through, nigga. I ain't never gonna decline the subs. Don't ask me to tap dance like a monkey for them, though. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm not. I ain't doing all that, nah.
Michael B. Jordan, who plays both of the Smokestack twins. You forget it's one guy playing both of them, he's so good. I kept expecting to see both twins in all the behind-the-scenes stuff. And he's just one dude. The non-Jordan cast is phenomenal too, especially Miles Caton in his first ever acting role. Dude is amazing. But equally as awesome as the cast is the music. Sinners is part musical, with plenty of moments defined by the songs the characters play and listen to. The score by Ludwig Göransson is just as important as the songs, weaving itself into the fabric of the film sometimes. Göransson, a Swedish musician who won an Oscar for Oppenheimer, was even an executive producer and spent 3 months on—
Yo, bro, I haven't streamed since all the shit, bro. Did y'all see what that bro? Phantom perfectly explained the Mizkit situation, bro. I texted Cloud last night, bro. I'm like, this your GOAT, bro. The nigga said this Dame's GOAT, bro. That nigga, that nigga Cloud trying to duck so bad, bro. He was just talking about how he gotta go watch that Mizkit stream, bro. Like, I don't know, bro. I feel like it's so hard for niggas on the internet to genuinely be normal people, bro. And it's giving everybody, I don't know the word for it. What's the word for it? Did you see?
On set, making sure—
I'm not dissing the nigga. I'm just asking a question. I gotta make that be known, because even I could probably get dissed, because I'm not even like, you know what I'm saying? But like, I'm just asking, bro. I ain't see that. She was like, Tusi, why were you lying? This, that, and the third. And then she was like, Jace was like, who you fucking? And she was like, you. And her little asses. I'm like, bro, what am I watching, bro? Like, this wasn't real clips, bro. So I just had to see you niggas like, nah,
the actors
bro.
had real musicians playing for them during production. It makes sense that the musical elements are so prominent, considering one of the film's central themes, that music is a powerful force that can pierce the veil.
On that. Wait, didn't you just get your ass busted? Wait. Didn't you just lose the game? Why are you talking to me? Go more.
between life and death, past and future. I could watch this movie over and over again. It earns it. You can actively read into every character's glance, every line of dialogue. None of it is wasted as it shows you who they
So
are.
you spoiling now? Hey, my nigga Kenji with the 2 gifts. You know what that shit mean, though. You fire, bro. You fire, bro. I ain't even watch the game, bitch ass nigga. I guess I'm spoiling a football game. Yo, you're about to piss me off. Yo. Nah, good get this, bro. Good get this, bro. But, like, how do you spoil? This nigga, yo, you're not a football fan, bro. Like, this nigga watches fucking game highlights on YouTube every night at 7 o'clock talking about him spoiling fucking football games. Fuck out here. Nigga riding and dying for his team, but not watching the games. Like at least, like, I get if you don't watch football, like, for every team.
Caught a plug, I need more gas. I just ran off on their ass.
2 more, though? Mihoy? What the fuck? Mihoy? What the fuck, nigga? Nigga, I bet you do that shit too. I watch every single Ravens game, bro. Kenji, I appreciate them other 2 gifters, bro. Good gifters, bro. We getting Tro Camera sub too, man. Nah, niggas eating today. Listen, bro. Listen to the song now. I ain't pay this for no reason. What song are you talking about? What song is it? This shit is just like, there's no way.
What their lives
Y'all
are.
like this new YouTube update? Y'all see like the thumbs up right here, the comments. Like, can I see? Oh, that's tough. I'm low-key jacking the new volume. The new volume kind of ass, but everything else look kind of smooth. This look kind of smooth. This update ass. I like this, bro. Hold up.
They're like. So much time is spent getting to know them that it's heartbreaking when you remember this is a horror movie. These people are just trying to have one perfect night.
YouTube,
one
TikTok
night
down.
for
It
them.
made it harder
One
to
night
get
where they're
thumbnails.
free. But it all gets fucked up thanks to that Irish vampire. The only thing that keeps you from hating his guts is that he's charming as hell and really argues his point well. This kill count will do the usual.
Shout out my
Make
nigga
jokes,
Kenji for them
count
subs,
kills,
bro.
and most importantly, tell you how the movie was made. But this show isn't the best equipped for touching on all the movie's themes and historical research. So I highly recommend our podcast where Chelsea delves deeper into those things. It's one of our all-time favorite episodes for one of our favorite films of the year. How many folks will get... Do you hear that? That beautiful music?
But it disappears instantly now.
Where am I? What? What?
Humans are so easily fooled. All it took was a little groove and you...
I'm beats with hair from and that was braided, smoked and stacked.
Yeah, I could tell
in
that
his
was a
juke
pro
joint
promo.
The movie begins talking
on.
about music that
We not doing
transcends
this.
time, made by people from all
We not
over
getting
the
to that
world.
paid
In
promo,
ancient
nigga.
Ireland, they were called Fili. Among the Choctaw, they were fire keepers. And in West Africa,
They're called griots.
I don't.
oh, giving us
But
a
hey.
little taste of that humdinger so early. Thank you very much, title card. We get taken to church in 1932.
Bro, this title card scared the fuck out of me, bro. I tell this story every time I watch this movie, bro. I'm in the movie theater. Yeah, I know my girl don't be scared by shit, bro. I'm in that bitch. Boom! I'm jumping and shit. She just standing still. I'm like, all right, it's cool, bro. I'm a bitch. Like, nah, bro. I went outside. That's the only time I got. Nah, I'm not. I probably got scared another time, bro. We know who we're. All right, back
to
up.
Clarksdale, Mississippi. As a choir
shit
sings
out.
inside, a
Not today.
disheveled young
Don't
man
start
named
with me.
Sammy approaches, clutching the neck of a broken guitar. Poor guy looks like he's been through hell and just got back. And we're gonna find out exactly what happened to him as the movie flashes back to one day earlier. Sammy's a sharecropper by trade, but a musician in his heart. He'll wake up early and pick his whole row of cotton before sunrise if it means he can clock out early and play the blues. He helps take care of his mother and younger siblings, but his preacher papa still disapproves of all his devil music. He wants Sammy to follow in his footsteps rather than invite evil into his life.
You keep dancing with the devil.
Nigga be-
One day it's gonna follow you home.
Across
you
town are
so
Sammy's twin
bored.
cousins, Smoke and Stack, both played by Michael B. Jordan. Wow, way to flex the double acting thing right off the bat by passing a cigarette between them. The Smokestack twins have been gone for 7 years, but they just got back with a big old bag of cash. They use it to buy an old lumber mill from a guy named Hogwood, a good old boy with bad old vibes. The twins tell him after the sale it's on site for any clan members who happen to come around. Hogwood promises that's AOKKK.
Clan don't exist no more.
Yeah, X to doubt. The twins pick up Sammy from the church and he asks about Chicago, what it was like living somewhere without Jim Crow. But they say it was just more of the same.
Chicago ain't shit from Mississippi with tall buildings instead of plantation.
so the two of them blew back home from the Windy City to face the Delta Devil they know. They take Sammy to pick up a truck full of black market booze they've stolen from Irish and Italian gangs in Chicago. They debate over whether they should open their juke joint tonight or if they should wait, showing how each brother is different. Smoke is more pragmatic and cautious, the mature leader among them.
I'll do what I can.
No, you'll do what you told.
He wants to wait to open the place, unlike Stack, who's much bolder and more confident. Stack wants to open tonight so they can finally have what they've always wanted, a place for them and by them.
Look at that sky. That's a mighty fine day to be free, ain't it?
The argument's enough to waft Smoke to his side. They split up to get shit done. Stack takes Sammy while Smoke takes a trip to the grocery store downtown. He offers to pay a little girl to watch his truck while he's inside and teaches her the value of negotiation.
10 cents just won't work for you. Talk another number back to me.
50 cents.
20 cents. Best I can do. We got a deal?
It's a great character moment showing how he's a noble gangster. He cares about his community and wants his people to know their worth. At the same time, he is still a gangster who was just working for Al Capone. That's why he shoots a wannabe thief right in the butt.
Terry? Boy, how you been?
I was doing better before you shot me in the ass.
He even shoots the other one to preserve his reputation, but pays to patch them up as part of his sense of justice. Smoke talks to an old friend, Chinese store owner Bo Chow. He offers him a wad of cash for a bulk order of catfish and have Bo's wife Grace paint a sign for the juke joint. Bo sends his daughter Lisa to get Grace from their other store. It's across the street on the white side of this segregated downtown. I wonder if it's called Fair Prices for Fair Skins. The movie never explicitly mentions this segregation in any dialogue, but the awesome unbroken one-shot of Lisa crossing the street highlights the invisible line, which is kind of like 8 Mile. The shot also shows how this Chinese family straddles the line between black and white. Ryan Coogler based the Cho family on a real community of Chinese Americans in the Mississippi Delta during this time, many of whom actually did own separate and segregated grocery stores. Coogler even had a consultant to make sure everything was accurate, journalist and filmmaker Dolly Lee, who made a documentary on the subject. Every aspect of Sinners was heavily researched, with various consultants who were experts in their fields. To play Smoke and Stack, Michael B. Jordan relied on filmmakers Noah and Logan Miller as identical twin consultants. They taught him how twins tend to fill in for each other's weaknesses and are often dominant in different areas of life. Jordan gave Smoke and Stack different mannerisms, postures, and even slightly different voices with the help of a dialect coach. Their costuming highlights the twins' differences even more. Stack is decked out in vibrant red and showy accessories since he's more passionate and runs hot, while Smoke prefers simpler clothes in a subtler blue since he's the cool, calm, collected businessman. Jordan's dual performance is matched by the technical marvel of having both brothers on screen at the same time. This was done in different ways depending on what the scene was. Sometimes they'd use a techno dolly programmed with the shot movements and simply film the scene twice. Jordan would play one character against his twin double Percy Bell, then change outfits and play the second brother in the same scene. If the shot was simple enough, it was just a matter of splicing the two takes together. That was how they did the cigarette pass-off, with a thin fiber filament helping the actors know where the cigarette had to land each time they filmed. For more complicated scenes, like when the brothers move around each other or physically interact, more visual effects were needed. Jordan and Bell would once again have to film each scene twice so Jordan could play both brothers, but during these takes, he'd wear a halo rig made up of 10 cameras to capture his face in 360 degrees. Thing looks like a saw trap by way of Black Mirror. It's amazing he could give a good performance under these conditions. VFX supervisor Michael Ralla then worked with an Australian team to map Jordan's face onto Bell's body using digital face replacement. To make sure their expressions mapped properly, they had to film both actors doing as many facial expressions as possible. Stack and Sammy are catching up in the car, with the older cousin teaching him the important things in life.
Every cool's got a button on it towards the top. And you want to keep a woman. You find it? Lick that. Not too hard. Not too soft either.
Since Sammy's old enough for an oral sex tutorial, he figures he's also old enough to ask what happened to his uncle 7 years ago. Rumor is the twins killed their dad.
Nah, we ain't kill him. Smoke did.
One night when their father beat Stack hard enough to knock him out, Smoke made sure he would never do it again. Smoked his ass. Stack changes the subject to Sammy's guitar and tells him to put it to use, and boy does he.
Traveling, I don't know why the world I'm here.
Stack reacts like Coogler after seeing the opening weekend box office.
We gonna make some money.
But Sinners is far from a cash grab. It was a deeply personal work for Coogler. It was inspired by his uncle James, who was a sharecropper in Mississippi whom Coogler would listen to blues music with. His uncle passed away while Coogler was busy making Creed, and Sinners was made partially as a love letter to him.
This is me at my most exposed, artistically.
Maybe that's why he was able to write it so quickly. He got the screenplay done in only 2 months.
My reaction when I first read the script was, I can't believe he turned it in on time.
Stack takes his younger cousin to the train station, which is full of buskers. It's basically
Bro,
Hollywood
so
Boulevard
weird.
minus one sad
But
looking
you don't even think about all
SpongeBob. They
this
meet
stuff
with
behind
Delta
the
Slim,
scenes.
a man who
You
can
watch
play
it.
the piano and drink himself stupid. Stack offers him $20 to play the juke joint opening tonight, but Slim wants to make sure the juke ain't a fluke before he flakes on a steady gig he's got. Stack's like his brother though, and is always ready with a counteroffer. He wins Slim over by promising twice the pay and all the ice cold Irish beer he could drink. Stack drums up business for the joint by having Sammy and Delta Slim play together. Actor Delroy Lindo didn't play any instruments prior to production, but attended daily piano lessons to prepare. For his harmonica performance, Lindo simply mimed it, while musician Bobby Rush played live on set. After the set, Sammy shoots a
Bro, that's
shot
that
with
sin,
a hottie
bro.
hot singer
That's
named
that sin he
Pearlie.
had,
She
bro.
tells
That's
him
that-
she's
that's
married.
that greed.
Beverly?
Sloth? I don't know.
Careful, boy. You gonna bite off more than you can chew.
Damn, Preacher Boy got game. And it must run in the family, because Sammy sees a white lady looking like she wants to climb that stack. Wait, no, actually she's pissed. Mary is Stack's ex-lover, whom he broke up with 7 years ago.
I heard you loud and clear, but then you stuck your tongue in my coos and fucked me so hard, I figured you changed your mind.
Oh, goddamn, Mary, in public? Stack blew out her back, but he also broke her heart. And now he doesn't want to mess with her, because she married a white man in Arkansas. He drives her away with cruelty, but damn does he love to watch her leave.
Bro, I'm not
Maybe
gonna
she ain't
lie,
one.
bro.
With Delta Slim in tow, they head to their next stop and spot a chain gang along the way. They're former fellow inmates of Slim's, and he tells a story of when he was in jail with his friend named Rice. They were musicians arrested for vagrancy, but the white cops gave them their instruments back and made them play for entertainment. They liked their music so much, they took them to a fancy house party where they passed around a hat and collected money.
See, white folks say they like the blues just fine. They just don't like the people who make it.
Rice tried to take his earnings and start a church in Little Rock, but a Klansman accused him of stealing the money and raping a white woman. Rice was robbed and lynched right there at the train station. Coogler decided to tell this story through haunting sound design rather than any visuals. You can hear Rice's last words as Slim recalls them with pain.
And they lynched him right there in the railroad station.
The memory wounds him so much, he can't help but hum a cathartic melody. Sammy joins in on the guitar to bring the song to life. It's a powerful moment, showing in real time the roots of blues music as Black American self-expression and a survival method. Next, they stop at a plantation where Stack tries to hire a dude named Cornbread to be his bouncer. He's unsure and doesn't like Stack swearing in front of his wife.
I said she was really gonna let you fuck her when she found out how much money you were about to get from this job I'm offering.
Hey, come on, Stack, you can't say that. She's standing right there.
How much money are you talking about paying him?
Okay, never mind, she's down. It's enough to butter up Cornbread and get him on board. Meanwhile, Smoke makes a stop to lay some flowers at an upsettingly tiny grave.
Pop was here.
He's confronted by Annie,
Bro,
the wife he left behind.
I'm so slow, bro. Yo, I didn't understand none of this shit when I was watching the movie. But I swear for the first 10 minutes of them interacting, bro, I was like, yo, is this his mom or something? Bro, my brain was fried, bro. I'm like, I didn't even know this was a baby. I didn't know what the fuck was happening, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what I was doing, but I for sure wasn't paying attention. I don't know how I thought this was his mother. But then it started getting freaky, and I'm like, all right, there's something more going on here.
After their infant daughter died. Annie's played by Wunmi Masaku,
Okay.
a Nigerian British
I know I
actress
was
who was in
tripping,
Lovecraft
bro, like,
Country
what?
and His House. Annie is a conjure woman, a nurse, a healer, and a practitioner of hoodoo, a spiritual practice originating from enslaved Africans in the South. It has strong ties to nature, ancestry, and the connections between the living and the dead, tying in perfectly to the film's themes. Coogler and his wife and producer Zinzi Coogler brought on a hoodoo consultant to make sure they accurately portrayed
That's what I'm
Annie's
saying, bro. I was
practice.
like,
Annie
what?
is a strong believer
I
of
was still
supernatural
confused.
forces, while Smoke claims to only believe in the power of money. But he still wears the protective mojo bag Annie made for him all those years ago. He asks her to cook at the juke joint opening, but if he wants her to say yes, he's got to try a little tenderness.
But I love you. And I miss you.
The vulnerability from Smoke, whom she calls by his birth name, Elijah, gets Annie feeling amorous, and the two reconcile. Yeah, they reconcile real good.
Boy, passionately.
Oh, they reconciling right there in the shop.
Like,
Damn,
yeah,
man.
this shit was
Those
like,
little
what's
kid
going
customers don't come back. Sinners spends 40 minutes introducing its characters. It concludes the table setting with a culmination of all the musical themes we've been hearing in the score. As the sun sets, dissonant chords join in to take us into Act 2. All those people we just met and fell in love with.
I'm glad I'm not
about to have their
alone on
perfect
that, bro,
night
'cause I
ruined,
did was
thanks to a
confused.
smoking stranger who drops from the sky and drags himself to the nearest doorstep. Inside is married couple Bert and Joan, who don't like visitors around these parts. The stranger, Remick, begs for help, and after spotting a Klan hood through the door, plays on their racism. He tells them he was attacked by members of the Choctaw tribe. With that and a little bit of gold, he wins them over. A group of Choctaw men arrive shortly after, saying they're hunting a dangerous man who isn't what he seems.
God forbid you let him into your home.
Joan's too racist to heed their warnings, and with the sun setting, they give her good blessings and leave. Hey, they tried. Inside, Joan finds Bert
just
bleeding and Remick relaxing.
Oh, he's just resting.
Just
Yeah,
in case
that's
Twitch on
a
that,
face you
bro, I
can
got
trust.
you, bro.
Wait, yo, why is there a baby
know they
crib
be
in
looking
there?
for you, bro.
Where's the baby for that crib? We never find out, but we will put Bert on the count when he gets back up with a pretty smile. Dude's been turned into a vampire.
Man, that's
and does
history.
the same to Joan off screen, so we'll add her to the
right,
count as
bro, you
well.
right. Say it
As a
again, bro.
reminder, we count it as a kill when someone turns into a vampire. We did the same thing in From Dusk Till Dawn, an inspiration for this film. Sinners was also inspired by Robert Rodriguez's other horror film, The Faculty, as well as Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Inside Llewyn Davis, an episode of The Twilight Zone, the song Wang Dang Doodle, and Stephen King's Salem's Lot. Kugler said he wanted Sinners
Yeah,
to
you're
feel like
bored.
you were reading Salem's Lot while listening to the best blues record
Bro,
and eating a bowl of
then they unbanned the what's it called? They unbanned Zoplant and did they unban the other girl yet? Bro, Twitch is on a horrible PR tear right now. I'm not gonna lie, it's too much shit going on with this platform. Like, it's embarrassed being associated with right now. I'm not gonna lie, like, it's bad, bro. They got niggas shocking dogs on live, threatening their lives over view counts. Niggas getting touched at cons. Niggas getting touched in the comfort of their home and abandoning niggas. Speed was banned for 2 years for saying something. These bitches did this shit on live and got unbanned in less than a week. That shit is crazy to me. Such a bitch has some nigga in stream. You know what, bro? I'm just being real, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. Speed was banned for 2 years. She got unbanned in 1 day, bro. Nah, that was crazy, bro. That was dead crazy. I'm not condoning anything Speed said or did, bro. But like, bro, them niggas actually did this shit. They got 1 day. One.
spicy gumbo.
This is a full meal of a movie.
It's opening night at Club Juke and the joint is jumping.
Be
They've got
honest?
whiskey, Irish beer, and Italian wine to drink, Andy's
What's the
food to
question?
eat,
What's the
and
question?
plenty of music to
You
dance
laughed at
to.
it?
Everyone's having a good time.
At Speed or what? What are we talking about? I'm not gonna lie, bro. You laughed at it. You know you laughed at it. That, bro, like, come on, bro. But look, though, I was mad young. I didn't understand the ramifications of the joke. You feel me? Like, I didn't get with it. Like, I didn't understand that shit though. Like, you feel me? I'm thinking, nah. Like, yeah. Looking back on it now, that was mad out of left field. Like, that was mad out of left field though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Bro, it's so hot in this room. I got this blanket on. I need to blanket up.
Except for Smoke, when he sees a customer buy a drink with a wooden nickel.
But like, bro, he ain't know
Sharecroppers
her.
in this era were often paid in wooden nickels that could only be exchanged for specific goods at specific stores. The practical Smoke wants everyone to pay in cold hard
Fuck
American
you.
cash.
I don't know hoodoo, and I can't talk slick.
You know you
but
laugh.
I know.
Bro, I'm
business.
not saying I didn't
Business.
laugh.
Yes! But Stack is in the business of people and wants everyone to have a good time and become repeat
it's so
customers.
hot.
The Juke Joint was one of many sets built from scratch by production designer Hannah Beechler. She was able to give everything an authentic look for the time and place, especially the
I'm
segregated
worried.
street where the show business is. Though the film is set in the Mississippi Delta, it was actually shot in Louisiana where they could take advantage of infrastructure, tax credits, and use a local crew. Pearline arrives, and lucky for Sammy, she left her husband at home.
But you seem like such a nice young man.
I ain't always nice. Ain't that young either.
Casting Sammy took a global surge for someone who could act, play guitar, and sing with a voice beyond his age. Miles Caton, a 19-year-old pianist and singer with no prior film experience, was singing backup for her when he heard about the role. He submitted an audition even though he couldn't play guitar. He taught himself between the time he was cast and when production began. To prep, he studied blues musicians recommended by Kugler like Howlin' Wolf, Charlie Patton, and Buddy Guy. Mary's the next one to show up, and everybody at the joint already knows her. except for Sammy, but she knows him from when he was younger, and now that he's all grown up, she offers to buy him a drink. He asks about her heritage.
I ain't seen gang in a year.
I'm a human being.
She tells him her maternal grandfather was half black and that she grew up in the local black community. That's how she met and fell in love with Stack, who's still trying to keep her away. Stack clearly still loves Mary, but wants to keep her safe, which is why he broke up with her in the first place. Being with him will only lead to trouble, so he tells her to go back to Little Rock and be with her rich white husband. But Mary never wanted that life.
Oh, that shit was your idea. I didn't want no white man. I didn't want to be white. I wanted to be with you.
Mary's racial background is a big part of her character, with her mixed status leading to cultural alienation. It's something the Blackening brought up as well, only in a much more comedic way. Mary's 1/8 blackness was surprisingly accurate for actress Haley Steinfeld, who didn't know the details of her heritage until she did research for this role. That was when she found out her mom's dad was half black, just like her character. Delta Slim livens up the party by calling Sammy up to the stage. He introduces himself as Preacher Boy and sings a song he wrote for his father. His performance of I Lied to You, written by singer-songwriter Raphael Sadiq, gives us one of the best one-shots I have ever seen, and I'm not being hyperbolic. This is the kind of thing cinema was made for. As the aspect ratio expands to take full advantage of the IMAX frame, Sammy's song fulfills the griot
hold
power.
up. That means Josh Allen's son gonna have a little bit of black in him? Hold up. That nigga might create... I don't know where I was going with that. Yo, you might create a Lamar Allen.
Mentioned in the movie's intro. His music pierces the veil of time and figures from the past and future join the crowd.
Witness our ritual.
Josh Jackson sound better. Yeah, let's go with Josh Jackson.
Our people. And we be free.
It turns into the house from Mother as ancient musicians and 16th century West African dancers are joined by 70s electric guitarists and DJs. When the camera continues the unbroken shot and swings by to pick up the Chos, their heritage is added into the mix with Chinese dancers past and future. The scale and coordination that was needed for this sequence is nothing short of mind-blowing. The precise choreography was rehearsed for weeks ahead of time in a warehouse. They performed to the song played live on set, which meant it had to be finished super early. Music's usually added down the line in post-production. And the camera itself made things even more difficult. Sinners was shot on a combination of IMAX full-frame 1.43 film and 65mm Ultra Panavision in a 2.76 aspect ratio, giving it both the tallest and widest image possible.
So the film was shot with 2 different aspect ratios, and this is the first time ever that a film has been released combining these 2.
It also made history since cinematographer Autumn Gerald Arkapaw was the first woman to shoot on 65mm for a film. She consulted with Hoyt Van Hoytema, who shot Oppenheimer in the same format. In fact, the IMAX camera they used for Sinners was the same camera body used by Nolan for that film. But the IMAX camera, which this sequence uses, was loud as hell and could only shoot for about a minute at a time.
It was genuinely one of the hardest producing challenges I've ever had.
So this oneer was actually captured in 3 parts that were stitched together to look continuous, with each part taking about half a day to film. Everyone on set knew how amazing this was as they were shooting it, with some of them completely moved by the music.
Some parts of the music really wanted me to start twerking, which is something I don't know how to do.
The sequence includes an upward shot of the place's roof on fire, which was achieved practically by the effects team. The burn was the very last thing they shot.
It was kind of cathartic, actually, to finish the movie with burning our hero set.
It's also a perfect turning point for the movie. It's a culmination of its reverence for music and the transition into dark times for our characters, because this literal barn burner attracts Remick and his new vampire pals. I love Cornbread still sitting there bouncing for a club that's burned to the ground. This final part of the faux wonder was done with a 50-foot techno crane, and I love watching the vampire.
Why do people not like Dwayne Johnson, bro? I feel like he a good actor, bro. Niggas be like overly criticizing wrestlers / like niggas. Like John Cena a good actor too, bro. He got Peacekeeper. I ain't watched that new season, but what? Like nigga, only reason I say that 'cause that fat nigga Cornbread is literally in Ballers, but like. You just call him the name, bro. The Rock, bro. Dwayne Johnson, bro. If you talking about him in the acting role, niggas don't call him The Rock most of the time. Like, niggas be like, Dwayne Johnson can't act. Like, you feel me? Like, nah, bro. It didn't feel right calling him The Rock just now. I feel like I'm taking away from him as an actor, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Chairs jump in front of it after it wheels past them to get in the frame. The performance gets Pearline in the mood for Sammy's, but he's the one who wants to taste a snack. And the only boy who could ever eat her was the son of a preacher man. Stack approves.
Boy found that button, didn't he?
He sure did. Outside, Remick, Joan, and Bert approach Club Juke and ask to be let in so they can enjoy the amazing music they heard.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Goddamn beautiful voice.
Even through these walls.
They introduce themselves to the understandably suspicious Smokestack twins.
Y'all clan?
Sir. Well, no, we believe in equality.
I love how genuinely appalled Remick is by the clan accusation. He's not about hate and segregation, he's about love and unity.
Can't we just, for one night, just all be family?
They're also legitimate music fans, as they prove by playing a little ditty called Pick Poor Robin Clean. It's super ominous given the whole vampire thing, but Stack don't know that yet, so he can't help but bob along. Still, in spite of Remick's colorblindness and the trio's decent set of pipes, the twins turn them away. They can't risk the fallout of inviting strange white folk into their establishment. Sammy confides in Smoke that he's fallen in love with performing. He plans to run off to Chicago like they did so he can keep playing the blues. But Smoke wants Sammy to lead a life that's more stable and respectable. He threatens him at gunpoint not to play in any more juke joints, and he means it.
I'm a soldier, boy.
Tell him. Downstairs, Stack admits to Mary that the club is losing money thanks to everyone paying with wooden nickels. She offers to go talk to Remick to see if he's got real money to spend. She'll go instead of Stack since she can pass as white. Mary walks up to the vampires as they're singing another tune. It's the Irish and Scottish folk song Will Ye Go, Lassie Go, and it's low-key one of my favorite songs in the film. I find it so peaceful and beautiful, especially the vocals from Lola Kirk, an American actress turned singer turned author. Bert is also played by a musician, Peter Dramanus, singer for the Canadian band July Talk. If you love this song too,
but
check out.
Then again, bro, I be forgetting, bro, like the clan was literally coming the next like 5, 6, 7 hours. So like either way, these niggas probably would have been drunk out of their mind, not ready for this shit. Niggas had the guns and shit, but I don't think they would have been ready for them niggas. Nah, some niggas would have died probably.
The version on the soundtrack.
Maybe.
It's even longer and has a verse from Remick. Remick offers Mary gold and something else she needs.
Fellowship and love.
Fellowship and love.
In surround sound. He tells Mary he can save her from loneliness and pain. In fact, he's downright drooling at the chance. Mary would rather he say it than spray it, and decides to take the money and run. Oh man, I love that cut from Remick, all of a sudden flying what the funk to Pearline singing Pale Pale Moon on stage. Mary returns to the juke joints, and she's asking Cornbread for permission to enter. It's clear she's been turned into a vampire, getting her added to the count. If you're confused by that whole plot point, it's a common part of vampire lore that they can't enter a place without being invited inside. I mean shit, they even named a whole movie after the fact. Cornbread steps aside, granting Mary permission to enter. She macks on Stack and smacks down his attempt to turn down a married woman.
You rob trains and banks, but you can't steal this pussy for a month.
I heard that when Nick landed there about he's a coochie gay. I mean, but he got the coochie though. He just got 8 though. Like, you feel me? Like, bro, he
this
completed the mission, but he died.
Y'all, and hot. They get busy in a back room where Stack catches her drooling like Remick was, but she just offers it up to him. Okay, yeah, you're either into this or you're not. And yeah, I just can't do the drooly spit thing. Reminds me too much of emptying my Barry Sachs' spit valve. Sammy walks in and immediately walks back out, but that's some coitus he should have interrupted. He comes back a few minutes later with Smoke to a Bloody Mary and a bleeding Stack. Smoke immediately acts to defend his brother, but bullets aren't enough to stop Mary, not even 2 whole guns worth. She jumps up laughing and sounding like a deadite.
We gonna kill every last one of you.
Then tee-hees away into the night. Smoke rushes to his brother's side, but it's too late. Stack bleeds out, and you can really feel Smoke's pain as his brother dies. It's like losing a part of himself. Actually, kind of literally. Stack's death kind of kills the whole party vibe, so Slim sends everybody home. Dude's been filling in as bouncer for the past hour since Cornbread left to take a leak and never came back. Bo is afraid of what's happening, and Grace wants them to get back home to their daughter, so he leaves to get the car and bring it around for her. Annie realizes they're up against something supernatural because of what Mary said before she fled. Oh, and also the whole surviving all those bullets thing. She urges Smoke to take Stack's body outside, but he's too lost in his grief to listen. Cornbread returns, but keeps standing outside, waiting for them to let him in. That means he's been turned into a vampire, possibly mid-piss, and so we can add him to the couch.
That's a bad way to go out. At least Stack went out getting some put. This nigga went out pissing outside, bro. That's why that's a fear, bro. Like, I can't be out, yo, I swear, bro, I can't pee unless I'm comfortable, bro. I don't know if that's weird, bro, but like, if I feel like something going on, bro, I can't, bro. Like, bro, bro, that nigga probably got his nut off, bro. Bro, like, bro, that nigga probably got his nut off, bro. You don't know that, bro. You don't know that, bro. But peeing, bro, and getting caught with your dick out, that might be top 5 worst ways to go out, bro. Damn, bro. They couldn't even piss.
He tries to get in during a hilarious scene where Annie clocks his weird behavior and he tries to justify it.
Now we out here playing games, telling ghost stories in place of doing what we ought to do.
Hey, bro, he got caught with a dick in, bro, not out, bro.
And what is it we supposed to be doing?
Being kind to one another.
Great performance here from Omar Benson Miller, who gets to play Cornbread in such a different way, almost like he's code switching. Miller went out of his way to play the human version of Cornbread as honest as possible, and the vampire version as deceptive as possible. Without an invitation inside, Cornbread agrees to leave as long as he gets his money. That's just a trick to let him have a little smoke snack, but the twin acts fast and shoots him away. The newly vampified Cornbread has no problem getting back up though, revealing a real messed up face. This effect was a favorite of prosthetic makeup artist Mike Fontaine, who Kugler hired because he liked his work in Green Room, which fucking rules. Fontaine built a prosthetic that attached to Miller's face and created an illusion of depth. With so many members of the cast getting bitten and wounded, a ton of prosthetics were needed. A team in New York made the molds and cast the pieces in silicone, then shipped them to New Orleans where Fontaine painted and sculpted them. The others go back inside where it turns out Stack is back. He's returning with a Shining reference. And if the stab through the door that nearly gets Sammy in the face wasn't clear enough for you, peep the shot that's similar to the one of Jack Torrance in the pantry after Wendy locks him inside.
Yo,
let me out of here and I'll forget the whole goddamn thing.
What is The Shining even about, bro? I've never seen this movie, bro. I see this reference a lot, though. Should I watch this?
Stack is also begging to be let free, but Annie warns Smoke not to open the door since that's not his brother anymore. She thinks Stack and Mary are haints, malevolent spirits possessing the bodies of their fallen loved ones. But when Stack breaks down the door and gets scared off by a jar of pickled garlic to the face, she adjusts her hypothesis.
These ain't haints. They vampires.
Annie tells the group that vampires can be hurt with garlic, silver, and holy water. Bullets will do a decent job slowing them down, but they can only be killed with sunlight or a wooden stake through the heart. They may share a connection to the vampire who created them, but they'll still have to be killed one at a time. And unfortunately, there's no turning them back. They're stuck being vampires, so the best thing they can do is kill them and free them of the curse. She throws Bones to tell her fortune, and whatever she sees must be bleak. She makes Smoke promise to stake her if she gets bitten, rather than live life as a vampire. They find a body lying in a pool of blood and carry it outside before it can rise again. While they're out there, they hear a folk song, because Remic's having himself a little music festival and singing The Rocky Road to Dublin. I love Cornbread back there looking like a cartoon bear. As Remic dances, we see what happened to all the juke joint patrons who left a little bit ago. We counted 65 of them having been turned into vampires and now joining Remic in his song and dance. Writers Tim and Addison used a later wide shot and figured out a way to get a conservative count, meaning not double counting anyone, even though it was hard as hell with all of them dancing around like this. And you can't blame them for not holding still. This song's an absolute banger. Shit, I think it rivals I Lied to You for my favorite sequence. I just love watching all these black folk enjoying an Irish jig as Remic shares his culture with them. I know a lot of people thought of Remic as a cultural vampire, a white man trying to take black culture for his own, but I don't think that's quite right. Anyone can have their own interpretation, of course, and I get why that's a reading of the film, but even Kugler disagrees with it. There's nothing here that suggests Remic doesn't have a culture of his own. He absolutely does. It's rich and it's deep, and he lost it to colonizers, as he explains later in the film. Remic being Irish was an important part of the character, since the Irish weren't considered white when they first migrated to America, at least not culturally, like on par with white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. Kugler and his kids are also obsessed with Irish folk music, an interest he's had since he was a kid and fell in love with the DCOM, the Luck of the Irish. And shit, this isn't even the first horror horror film to mix black and Irish culture. Look no further than my favorite frenemy, the little shit. Remick is played by Jack O'Connell, who was already experienced in Irish dance. He had taken lessons starting around age 6 and even won several trophies. Before he left London to shoot Sinners, he worked with a dance teacher to plan out Remick's jig, so it would basically be ready to go when he arrived on set. He described shooting Rocky Road to Dublin as both demented and transcendent, with everyone dancing deliriously until the sun came up. He said recording songs during the day and shooting at night made him feel like a pop star.
There were days I just felt like Beyonce.
The song is filled out by an amazing choir who recorded their part in New Orleans.
Not even
We dance some hearty jigs, the water around me bubbling, pump the hair and turn her down the rocky road and all the way to Dublin, quack for la-di-da.
Because of the new body they found on the floor, everyone inside the juke joint assumes there must be a vampire hiding among them. They circle up to eat cloves of garlic to prove that they're still human, in a scene reminiscent of the Thing's blood test. There are some silly misdirects here. Slim's retching is a bit too overplayed for me, but they all manage to keep the garlic down. There isn't a vampire inside at all, because it turns out that body they found wasn't actually bit. Dude was just passed out in a pool of wine, not blood, and was alive the whole time. Damn, man, these people would have thrown John Kramer to the vampires. Smoke realizes the mistake too late and opens the door to see Cornbread chowing down on the poor drunk bastard. Bo finally reappears, but is suspiciously calm about the whole Cornbread eating a guy thing.
I know about cornbread. You're just a little hungry, that's all.
He tries to call Grace outside with him, but that ain't Bo no mo. He's part of Remick's vampire hive mind now. Remick proves it by speaking Chinese to Grace and saying he knows about their daughter Lisa. He threatens to pay her a visit if he doesn't get what he wants. And what he wants is here right now.
Sammy.
What if he just gave them Sammy though? Like, nah, she was a do bad, bro. But like, I mean, if he just gave them Sammy with like, nah, you can't do that. But like, I wonder, like, if you could just let niggas alone.
Remick wants to use Sammy's musical gift to see his long-dead family and ancestors again. If they give him Sammy, he promises to let them all go. When they refuse, he cooks up a different pitch and tells them they were doomed either way, since that Hogwood guy is the Grand Dragon of the KKK. He only sold the twins the mill so they could come back later and kill everyone inside.
You built something here tonight, and it was beautiful. But it was built on a lie.
Remick learned this after turning Burke, who happens to be Hogwood's nephew. And since Stack is part of the hive mind too, he's able to back up this disappointing fact.
He was never gonna be free.
The twins thought they had found freedom, but it was only an illusion. Remick promises Smoke that if he joins them in vampirehood, he can really be free.
We're gonna start ourselves a new clan based on love.
Smoke briefly considers joining his brother, but the others pull him back and shut the door on that idea. A terrified and furious Grace heads to the bar and pours herself a Molotov cocktail. She wants to fight the vampires to death so she can save her daughter from becoming a target. Right. Outside, the vamp choir surrounds the juke and sings an eerie version of Pick Poor Robin Clean. A huge part of making the vampires look inhuman.
Bro, niggas really could have won this shit, bro. Like, stuff her mouth shut, bro. Tell her shut up, bro. Like, yo, she really ruined this whole movie, bro. She told them come right on in, bro. They just shut her up. I would have stabbed her. I ain't gonna lie, bro. If it been saving my life and everybody else I cared about in there, bro, she would have got stabbed. I ain't gonna lie, bro. She was wildin'. The second she made them all the time, niggas should have knew to put a silver bullet in her head, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Niggas just didn't want to live.
Was their eyes, which reflect light like a cat's. This effect was achieved with hand-painted contacts that covered their entire pupils, blinding the actors so much they had to be led around on set. The injuries afflicted on and by the vampires were inspired by animals too, with the team referencing animal attacks for the bites and burns. The others try to hold her back, but there's no saving Grace. If they won't let her bring the fight outside, she'll just invite them all to tango in here.
Come on in, you motherfucker!
The aspect ratio expands again for a fight scene as the vampire horde swarms the building. Sammy and the others open fire as Grace starts a fire with a deflected Molotov. The next time we see her, she's driving a stake through her husband's chest as they both go up in flames. Damn, that's tragic. Even though guns can't kill the vamps, they do a pretty good job holding them off. Only 3 juke joint patrons get bitten in the ambush, which yeah, sucks for those guys, but still, pretty good rate. The first few times I saw this movie, I thought this was a mistake. I had assumed they cleared the place out of all the non-named characters and that there shouldn't be any red shirts bastards left to get murdered. But turns out they are still around, just unreasonably absent from the background of most shots. You can see them on the very edges of the frame sometime. One of them was a dude who helped Cornbread man the door earlier. Wish they had been more visible leading up to this scene. As for vampire deaths, we counted 8 total. Annie manages to take out 3 of them, the last one making up for Perline's bad aim. Delta Slim stakes 2, and I think we see a background juke joint patron staking 1 more behind Perline. Finally, Smoke gets 2, including Bert, whom he shoots in the head, and I guess I'll count it, cause we never see him again. Annie splashes holy water in Remic's face and realizes the other vampires can feel his pain through the hive mind. But when she takes a moment to tell Smoke this discovery, she's attacked and bitten by Stack. Perline shoots the red twin away and Smoke tends to his love, but it is definitely not looking good. Vampire Stack and Mary are thrilled for Annie to join their new family, but Smoke follows through on his promise and stakes her in the heart, preventing her from turning. Stack and Mary are legit distraught to lose their dear friend for good. He leads her out of the juke joint as Sammy, Smoke, and Perline run upstairs. Slim stays behind to buy them time, using a bottle to open a vein and create a tasty distraction. The vampires swarm and snap into Slim like they were Macho Man. Oh no! They're almost out the back door when Remick surprises them. Sammy! Perline tries to stake him, but this girl just does not know where the heart is, and she winds up getting bit. We don't see her actually turn, but we'll go ahead and count this commitment to the undead as her death. Sammy grabs his guitar and runs. Oh, he is lucky he's so young, or else he would not be getting up from that so quickly. Then again, Remick old as fuck, and he's got no problem swooping after him. Remick's flying was done with wires, which were removed in post by the VFX team. I just wanted to include this clip, because I thought it was fun. Smoke and Stack have a final face-off, with Annie's mojo bag protecting Smoke during the fight. He regains the upper hand and prepares to stake Stack, apologizing that he couldn't keep his brother safe in the end. Stack tells him not to worry about it, because he always managed to keep him safe while he was alive. Outside, Remick throws Sammy into the water for a vampiric baptism.
I want your stories, and I want your songs, and you won't have mine.
Sammy responds by reciting the Lord's Prayer, but Remick isn't moved by those words. He already knows them from the colonizers who stole his father's land and forced Christianity on his people. This harkens back to an earlier line from Slim to Sammy.
Blues. It wasn't forced on us like that religion.
Though it's not explicitly said, it's implied that Remick's family was among the pagans driven from Ireland in the 5th century by the arrival of Christianity. When people talk about St. Patrick driving the snakes out of Ireland, they're actually referring to Celtic pagans being converted or forced out of their homes. Since what's sacred to his father doesn't work, Sammy defends himself with something sacred to him, music. He swings his guitar and its silver plate right into Remick's face, sending sympathy pains rippling through all the surrounding vampires. Then Remick gets staked through the back? Who did that? Oh, Smoke, who just magically appeared. Seriously, how'd he get past all those other vampires? And he waded that far into the water behind them? In any case, where there's smoke, there's fire. The sun rises and the vampires all start lighting up. Oh man, this is Midnight Mass all over again. Using the wide shots of everyone approaching the lake and the crowd in pain after Remick was hit with the guitar, we counted 30 vampires burning and screaming to death, which includes Cornbread, Perline, Joan, and 27 nameless juke joint patrons. After all of them are killed, Remick follows suit with an incredible fire tornado, a great use of visual effects. Upon his death, the movie once again reverts to the widescreen format. Smoke says goodbye to his cousin, who carries his broken guitar all the way home. We're coming back around to the movie's opening scene, but it's interspersed with extra footage from earlier that day. It's great to see everyone alive and happy one more time, as they set up for the juke joint's opening. It's even a way of honoring all the nameless characters who were killed for just trying to have one nice night together, one night that felt like freedom. Sammy enters the church where his father begs him to lay down the guitar and trade his music for a holier lifestyle. Meanwhile, Smoke swaps his mojo bag for dog tags. After a night hunting monsters, why not kill a few more? When Hogwood and his clan buddies arrive at Club Juke for their planned attack, Smoke's waiting for them in full-frame glory. He uses his experience from fighting in World War I to shoot a bunch of them down from a distance. Then he shows off what he learned from Al Capone by blasting them away with a Tommy gun! A few dudes almost get away in a truck, but he blows them up with a grenade on their way out. Fuck yeah! All in all, he puts down 13 Klansmen who get shot or otherwise go up in smoke. The only ones left alive in the end are Smoke and Hogwood, both heavily wounded. As Smoke bleeds out, he sees Annie waiting for him in the afterlife, holding their daughter. She tells him to put out his cigarette.
I don't want any of that smoke to get on her.
Now that the fight is over, he can leave Smoke behind and just be Elijah. He can be a husband, be a father, be at peace. As soon as he shuts Hogwood up with a bunch of bullets. There we go. Job well done. Annie hands Elijah their daughter.
Papa's here.
and then he dies, off to join his family in the afterlife. Meanwhile, Sammy decides to leave his family behind. He's chosen the guitar and is driving off into an uncertain future, much like the 30s blues artist Robert Johnson, who, legend has it, sold his soul to the devil at a Mississippi Delta crossroads in exchange for musical commercial success. But even though the credits start to roll, you'd best sit your ass down, you eager to leave motherfuckers, cause Sinners has another ending with a mid-credit scene. It's set in 1992, and a 70-something Sammy is still rocking. Easy to believe since he's played by real-life blues legend Buddy Guy, who was one of Coogler's uncle's favorite musicians. Like Sammy, Guy spent his early life as a sharecropper before becoming a musician. In spite of him being almost 88 at the time of filming, Guy was a real champ about the long hours and overnight shoots.
Well, I'm ready to roll now.
He even played a blues concert for the crew after they rapped. Musicians are just built different. Sammy plays a set and has a drink at his own personal club, named Perline after the finest seafood he ever ate. He gets a pair of late-night visitors who end up being Stack and Mary. They've been living their best vampire lives all these years, and have really been keeping up with the latest fashion trends. Stack says that Smoke didn't kill him in the barn when he had him dead to rights during that fight. He let Stack live under one condition. He and Mary leave Sammy be and let him live out his life. Now Stack can smell that Sammy's going to die soon, and he offers him immortality with a vampire bite. Sammy turns it down though, saying he's lived enough life for one life, but he'll play a request from Stack on his old acoustic. As Stack and Mary leave, Sammy tells them that he's lived his life traumatized by the night the juke joint opened.
But before the sun went down, I think that was the best day of my life.
Stack tells Sammy samesies. It was the last time he saw his brother, the last time he saw the sun.
And just for a few hours, it was free.
Oh, fuck, I love this movie. And for the extra patient viewer, the movie truly ends with a little post-credit scene of Sammy playing This Little Light of Mine. How many buddies, guys, and gals were left dead in the Delta? Let's find out and get to the numbers.
Oh, James! Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to startle you there. Hey, you mind if I come on into that kill count set right there?
Zorn, what are you doing, man?
Oh, I'm just out here enjoying all this beautiful nature, and just caught a glance of you on that.
Yo, I'm just not doing
this
this
before.
You just to the
that by myself.
Yo, this is a
34.
Yo, that was a minute-long bit, bruh. They really did that shit for a minute.
Kills/vampire turnings and sinners. The victims consisted of 48 women and 86 men, giving us a nearly 2-to-1 ratio of dudes, but honestly, that's less uneven than a lot of pie charts with this many ingredients. In the pantheon of kill counts, Sinners has 1 more kill than the first Purge, but 9 fewer than Dawn of the Dead and the Forever Purge. And with a runtime of 137 minutes, we had a kill on average just over every minute. I'll give the Golden Chainsaw for coolest kill to Remick. A lot of good spurty blood and other deaths, but I love the climactic bad guy kill with the awesome fire tornado effect. Plus, it gives us that nice 2-shot of Smoke and Sammy. Dull Machete for lamest kill will go to Joan, whose first death/vampire turning happens entirely off screen. And that's it. Sinners was released in 2025 and became the highest grossing original horror film in domestic box office history. I can't wait to see how many nominations it gets at next year's Horror Awards. Until next time, I'm James A. Janice.
This has been a
kill count.
On the next kill count.
Since the dawn of time, man has fought for survival, for resources.
Nigga, what is this?
Predator lore. So
yeah, I'm cool. Bro, just chill out, bro. My mic be delayed, bro. My mic delayed, bro. My mic be delayed, bro. My mic be delayed, bro. Chill, bro.
It's a YSL. It's a PDE. That's my old team. It's a TBT.